guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and today we are officially 7 days out from our Disney World vacation, which means it is go time. I am booking our lightning lanes, walking you through literally everything I've packed, and basically showing you the most important things I do the week leading up to Disney to make sure that our trip goes as smooth as possible. So let's start this countdown. Let's go to Disney. Now, in busy mom fashion, I did work my full-time job this morning, but I was ready at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the My Disney Experience app, ready to execute my lightning lane planning tool that I have for free for all of you guys. So if you are interested in getting it, I've got the link in the description box. And if you don't see it in your inbox, maybe check your junk or your spam folder. Sometimes it likes to hide in there. But I had a really successful morning gathering everything that we needed. So I was going to go over the execution and what I actually grabbed for our upcoming trip. I'm so excited. Now, one of the most important parts is letting you guys know who all is going with us. So on this trip, it is myself, my husband, and my 5-year-old Annie, who is 47 inches. So that is very important because some rides, 2 rides actually, specifically, she cannot ride just yet. That would be Tron, which is a 48-inch height requirement, and Rock and Roller Coaster, which is also a 48-inch height requirement. But in this moment that I'm recording the video, it did close down for refurbishment or reimagining. So it's going to be turned into the Muppets theme. So we've got 2 attractions that we did not go after. Typically, sometimes Tyler and I, when we do go together, we will ride Tron. One of us will stay back with Annie and switch out using our lightning lanes. But for this trip, we just did opt out because it kind of hurts Annie's feelings whenever we go and one of us gets to ride Tron, because she really is a thrill seeker. Like, she loves all the attractions. So if you have a kid that just wants to know what is it like riding all of these attractions, I need a point of view type of camera vlog, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Maybe put on some vlogs for your kiddos. Come along with us to see Annie's reactions and how she feels about specific rides before you really dedicate your money and your time to these attractions. But nonetheless, let's jump into what I actually captured for this upcoming week. I'm going to go ahead and pop up the My Disney Experience app on the screen for you guys so we can just kind of go through it together. So I've logged in. Everybody has a profile. My daughter Annie has a profile that I can manage. And then my husband also has a profile. We're going to click in the top right corner of Lightning Lane passes. And as you can see, we have our lightning lanes for day 1 of Hollywood Studios. This day, according to my planner, we are actually going to be sleeping in. We get in really late. We have a late flight the day before, so we're going to sleep in. So these times actually worked out really nice for us. They're a little bit later. We are staying for the first half of this trip on a Skyliner resort, so it's just really easy for us to hop on the Skyliner and go on over to Hollywood Studios. First attraction is going to be Tower of Terror. We have Toy Story Mania, and I got Slinky Dog. Slinky Dog is going to be the most hard to get attraction if you are not there right at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the first park that I went after, and that's how late of a return time I got. I did go in to see if I could modify any of our plans to see if I could get like an earlier time to be a little bit closer. And oh my goodness, did I just get one with you guys? No, there's none. I was like, oh my goodness, earliest time. So sometimes, this is a really great example. Sometimes you do have one that pops up that says you have the earliest time, but we have a party of 3, so it might not capture it because it's available for maybe 1 person or 2 people and we just have too many. So we'll just go back a little bit. That was a good, quick learning experience. So that is example A. These are the multi-passes. Now, if you watched my entire lightning lane video, you'll know that the multi-passes, you get 3 choices. I also did get the single pass this morning, which is Rise of the Resistance for the Hollywood Studios Park. So I did get 4 attractions, decent time. It does work out for us. Now, I would keep an eye on this. If you were planning on rope dropping or early entering, maybe your strategy would be going in, trying to get a bunch of attractions done, and then ride these a little bit later in the day. But what I like to do is I like to go in with my lightning lanes and scan in to that one, because when you scan in on your My Disney Experience app, there's going to be a little button that comes up and you get to select another attraction, another multi-pass lane attraction. So I like to use them as early as possible so I can kind of stack my lightning lane. Again, this works out really nice for us because we do plan on sleeping in. So that's a perk. Now, our next day, we are going to Epcot, and I did get much better return time. So we can sleep in a little bit if we want to. We are staying at a Disney resort, so we do have the option to go into the parks 30 minutes early before the public's allowed in, because resort guests get to go to early entry. We might do that, ride some attractions before our lightning lanes start. Maybe we want to do Guardians twice, but who knows? We do have some options. Spaceship Earth is relatively early. Epcot typically opens up at 9 a.m. and then early entry would be 8:30 a.m. Talking about staying at the resorts and that being a perk of being an early entry, the reason why I was able to get lightning lanes 2 days, 7 days out, is because we are staying on Disney World property. If you're staying on Disney World property, that is an additional perk for you because you pretty much get like first dibs of all of these lightning lanes. If you're staying off property, you get to sign up for your lightning lanes 3 days out. So I don't really know what's going to be remaining for you. It's tough to say considering what day you're going, time of year you're going, etc. So it's not always promised, but again, it is a perk from an attraction standpoint. If you're wanting to get in there and ride some attractions, you have early entry and you're going to be able to get your first choices staying on Disney World property. With Epcot, these are our multi-lane passes. So we've got the Spaceship Earth, Test Track, and Soarin'. Those are our 3 multi-pass choices. Test Track was out of our tier 1, if you watched the Lightning Lane video again. And then I chose Spaceship Earth and Soarin' Around the World for our tier 2. Of course, I got Guardians for our single pass. Now, there is a caveat with the single pass because I know I already mentioned that we were going to do Guardians, but my husband gets super motion sickness on rides like that. So for the single pass this morning, I just got it for Annie and I. We're all 3 doing the multi-pass, but just the 2 of us, just Annie and I, are going to be doing Guardians. So that is an option for you. I already kind of mentioned it with Tron that we have done it before. Annie can't do Tron, but Tyler and I can do Tron. So if I wanted to get Tron for Tyler and I and not Annie, that's an option. Not everybody has to do the same exact thing. And that really is a perk, especially whenever you have a ton of people going with you and or just different opinions and different ages of kids and different height requirements. It does play into your advantage whenever you are trying to plan a vacation with different factors going into your lightning lanes. Then the next day we're doing a rest day, but our next park day, we're finally going over to Animal Kingdom. And again, I feel like I personally got some reasonable return times. Kilimanjaro Safari. So let me back up. Animal Kingdom opens earlier than all the other parks. So, and they also close earlier than the other parks. So typically Animal Kingdom will open up around 8 and their early entry for the resort guests is at 7:30. Typically, I would suggest going through the My Disney Experience app and going to the park hours calendar to see your specific times and dates and parks for your vacation. But Kilimanjaro Safari, first of all, it gets super hot. Like, you're in the savannah, it's hot, the sun is beaming on you. So I always recommend bringing our fan with us, and we'll talk a little bit about beating the heat a little bit later on when we're prepping and packing for that part in this video. But I always bring my fan with me, and I always bring my water with me because it's really, really hot. So that's a perk of having a really early return time. But also, I personally feel in my experience of years going to Disney World, and we go to Disney World like every 4 to 6 weeks, that my tip would be the earliest the better. So like at sunrise or sunset, or if it just got done raining. The animals are, I feel, a lot more active during those times. If it is blistering hot, like in the middle of the day, they're not wanting to get out, roam. They're just kind of sitting there. So I feel like we got a fantastic return time for Kilimanjaro. And then Expedition Everest, it's a fantastic roller coaster. It's one of Annie's like top 3 roller coasters at Disney. And Cali River Rapids, she might not be happy with me, but Tyler and I voted that we wanted to ride that. And so she'll be just fine. But we do love Cali River Rapids, and it's a fantastic attraction, especially on this time of day, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because it's a great attraction to cool off. Yeah, you're in the sun, but then you get a little splashity splash with the water, and it cools you down, and you'll dry with the sun, don't you worry. We also have planned Magic Kingdom to be the very last park. On my most recent planning video, I did talk a little bit about this, and my friend Danielle, who's a travel agent out there, who really put it perfectly into words about as to why it's a really smart idea to put Magic Kingdom last in your entire plan of Disney World, simply because by the time, if you don't go to Disney World often, by the time you're getting to the end of your trip and you're managing the My Disney Experience app, you're kind of a pro by the end of this. Now, Magic Kingdom has the most attractions of all Disney World parks. And so you have a lot of practice at Hollywood Studios, at Epcot, at Animal Kingdom. And by the time you're in Magic Kingdom, you're scanning in, you're getting on here, booking, you're stacking your attractions, and you're in a really good space rather than arriving to Disney World, going to Magic Kingdom first, and you feel a little bit overwhelmed, especially if you're not very well versed in this. Now, I will say that if you don't have a fantastic travel agent, I would recommend one, especially if you don't feel extremely confident with maneuvering through the parks, planning out your parks, managing your lightning lanes. I've got a few travel agents that I will 100% sign off on. They are fantastic. I'm not just throwing their names out there just to throw their names out there, that I have used and love them. And I think they do an amazing job at their job, and they're completely free to you as long as you book your trip through them. So if you need a little additional help outside of like my lightning lane tutorial, the planning videos that I put out there, it never hurts to have additional help. Like I go to Disney World all the time, and I always use a travel agent. Literally always, because it's just an extra eye on there, whether they're getting me an better deal, like our last booking that we've done with Alani, my travel agent Elizabeth. She was like, grabbed your deal as soon as it came out. Like, I was like, I didn't even know they released a deal, and she already saved me thousands of dollars. I've used another travel agent, Sarah, who I was in the middle of the parks, and she knew that I wanted Topolino's as a reservation. She texted me randomly. She's like, hey, Topolino's is on your itinerary for tomorrow. This is the time. Okay, I'm sitting here at Disney World having a good old time, and you're making sure that I am continuing to have a good time. So that's going to be my tangent and my just my random excerpt about travel agents, because I think that they are vital in a really great Disney World vacation, but you have to have a good one. Okay. So anyway, then we're all the way to the bottom of our single pass attractions. You can simply go in there again and modify your plans, but I feel pretty good about it. I'm not going to complain about what I got. Like for Magic Kingdom, also Buzz Lightyear's back. I got that guy, and I got Tiana's. We got 7 Dwarfs. So I feel really, really happy with what I grabbed. Again, do not forget your time frames of whenever you need to capture your lightning lanes, and try to figure out some sort of strategy, thinking through the lightning lane planning tool that I have for you guys. And really, if you are staying on property 7 days out, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I set alarms on my phone, 15 minutes till, then I'll set it 5 till, and then I'll do one at 6:59. Make sure your credit card, your debit card, your gift card information is saved to your app, or you can use your Apple Wallet if you have an iPhone. That way your purchase is going to happen a lot faster, and the same is going to go for if you're staying off of Disney World property 3 days out, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And no matter what, make sure that every person that's attending, they have a profile. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to manage it, but it is going to make life so much easier if they have a profile. And also, if you think that not everybody is going to benefit from having the app on their phone. Let's say that they're an adult and they're like, no, I don't need the app. I'm just telling you, it is going to make life a lot easier. So I would go ahead and give that as a random tip. Make sure everybody has the Disney Experience app downloaded before going to Disney World. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey girlies, welcome to my bathroom and my closet, and it's always chaotic in here, and forget that. Anyway, we're day 6 days away from Disney World, and I'm super excited to show you guys one of my favorite tips. So we're in the very, very beginning of the week, and I'm not trying to set my end of the week up to be extremely stressful, okay? I know how it feels to try to get that final count on the luggage scale, and you're trying to maneuver through everything, and you're like, I should have not packed this much, and then you have to go back to the drawing board, and you're like, what do I actually need? And you're standing there like, do I need this? Do I not need this? And you're sacrificing things that you probably shouldn't sacrifice. So that is why we're going to go ahead. You can see that I've already started my tip, but I do like to start this out 7 days up until like 3 days is pushing it, honestly. But what I do love to do every single trip is I will simply hang up my toiletry bag, and I am going to live out of my toiletry bag up until departure. That includes me showering, drying my hair, putting all the products in it, brushes, and we're heading out like the door, gonna poop right into the luggage. Now, the reason why I'm saying like sacrifice things is if you are a mom like me, we're constantly thinking about what if I need that? What if I need this? What if this happened? And realistically, we're just gonna, like this upcoming trip, we're just gonna be gone for 7 days. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just need to make sure that we have the necessities and the things that are going to make us comfortable. Somebody commented on one of my Pack With Me's, like a few of them ago, and they were like, thank you for not always just saying, we're going to save some space. We're going to save some space. This, I don't know how to not pack things that, one, I need, and two, things that remove the stress. So this channel, I am not trying to save space. I'm trying to be efficient, and I'm trying to make sure that everybody feels taken care of without, again, making some sacrifices. So like this morning, I did not wash thy hair. So therefore I used dry shampoo. So the different ways that we get ready every single day as mamas, with kids, we use different products typically. So yesterday I did not use my dry shampoo. I actually washed my hair. So through the different ways that we are getting ready, I am making sure that I am comfortable. I'm packing those things up, but also those random things that I might pick up and use once a month, once every other month, every other week. I'm not packing them unless they're part of my normal routine. That is going to save me towards the end of this week from having to assess, maybe I should take this out. Oh, I need a little bit more weight to really be able to pack away a true necessity. And also it helps me not to forget one single thing. Now, I have started bringing keeping a razor in here because I've been burned way too many times. I don't forget on my last shower before we depart, I don't forget my shampoo and my conditioner, but I always forget a daggone razor. So I just simply leave a forever razor in here and just change the blades. But that's the one thing. What is your one thing that you always forget? No matter what, you got the checklist and everything. So I'm not saying that I am perfect and this is foolproof, but I am saying that as a busy mom, I'm a busy mom, I know you're a busy mom, it is one less thing for us to have to worry about forgetting something and or overpacking. Let's just make this as simple and easy as possible. Now, I do the same thing with my daughter, Annie. She has her own packing cube as well, and she'll hang this up into her bathroom. She's in her whole new, facial routine. She has her own makeup. She's really, really girly. She's into this self-care mode, which I love. I wish I was in the self-care mode years back. But, so if your kids want to have their own packing cube, they can still practice with this. In addition, it will help them practice while they are in a hotel room at Disney. So not all of us are staying in villas. It is going to be a lot of us staying in a standard room where space is limited. So it does teach them to also live out of their packing cube. They're done brushing their teeth, they're going to put it back. They're done brushing their hair, they're putting their brush back, and we're not having to kind of be all over the place wondering where everything is. And it's going to help you pack back up whenever you are sadly coming back home. So I will show you guys some of my favorite things that I do have already packed and some of the things that I still have not packed yet. I'm looking and I see that I've used my root pump and I do need to pack it. That's why I recommend doing it 7 days, and 3 days is pushing it because again, nobody's perfect. I just get into the routine and I'm spray, 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 spray. And then I put it down and I forget. But if I do one last time, I got it. Okay. I love my day. I am converting to be a day lover. D-A-E. Lover. This is the Fairy Blaster Dry Texturizing Spray. So what I'll do whenever I curl my hair with my flat iron, literally a flat iron, and see how quick I was able to grab that because everything is starting to be packed up and ready to go. I'll curl it with my flat iron. I don't know how to use a curling iron and I don't brush it out, but then I spray this all over and I kind of brush through while I spray and it adds a really nice texture to it all. Now, we're not talking about today. What is he doing? What are we doing here? Why is he so much shorter? We're not okay. Maybe some damaged hair. Pray for me. Anyway, so this is something that I absolutely have been loving. And I also have been using the purple shampoo because it smells amazing. And it kind of takes that bronzy, yellowy color out of my hair because I do keep my hair highlighted and all that fun stuff. I also love this stuff. So I'll put my root pump on and then I will put a couple pumps in my hands and then I'll run it through the ends and work my way up just to kind of control control the crazy. Now, I love that stuff specifically in Florida too, because that humidity, we are coming to the summer and that humidity, my hair doesn't know what to do. Okay. So the humidity will have my hair crazy, whatever. You'll see. Subscribe. You'll see. I try to manage the hair as much as possible, but nonetheless, I will typically pull my hair up. But I do love the day and it smells super fantastic. I also have this curl refreshing spray. So if I let my hair go a little crazy, kind of like today, I can spray it in there, do a little scrunchity scrunch and move on with my life. The Ultra Repair Cream. This is another one that I love through the winter and I love through the summer because our skin gets super, super dry in the winter. And then we're putting our skin through a lot during the summer, being out in the heat, especially in Florida. Now I have my Tower 28 for some breakouts. Like I get the breakouts right here. I just spray that on and it does some good moments. And then fighting the stinkity stankity. I like the aluminum free, okay? Don't forget your deodorant. And don't be the person that forgot their deodorant. Okay. Also, I have my travel Q-tips right up here. And another contact case. If you're a contact user, make sure that you're bringing plenty of solution. But I've got my makeup bag right here. I've got my hot tool stuff. Like, this is a foolproof way to make sure you're going to be managing all of your toiletries for your entire family and you're not going to be losing your mind, right? We want to make this as easy as possible for you, especially if you're like me, you're crazy, you're busy, you have 10 million things on your mind. You don't need to be going through this final 7 days feeling super stressed out because packing, guys, no matter how many times you do it, it literally makes me go bonkers. Ask my husband, ask my daughter. It's just super stressful. Like, it's a mom thing. Like, I can't stop it. So this is why I recommend doing this trick. And also this Toiletry bag is simply the best. That song, right? And it's going to fold up. Super easy. I don't have it zipped, so I'm really awkward right now. It's going to fold up and fit really, really nice into your luggage. Don't forget this step. And do not wait too late to start this step for it to be extremely effective. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. We are 5 days away from Disney World. Annie, where are we going?
The nail salon.
We're going to get our nails did. Annie, and what's your favorite part of getting our nails done?
The hot towel.
The hot towels, guys. She does know what she wants. I also have to decide what color I want. Annie, what color do you think I should get?
What resort are we staying at?
What resort are we staying at? Okay, the first resort we're staying at the Pop Century, and then we're going to Old Key West. What do you think?
I think Pop Century is orange.
Ooh, like maybe a coral? That's one of my favorites. Good job. What color, Annie? Yeah, perfect. Just put it down. All done. What did we get, Annie?
I got teal.
Ooh. And Mommy got like a pinky orange almond shape.
Yeah.
Yeah? And our toesies.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go on home because we've got some things to do to prepare for Disney. You're right. Welcome to the laundry room. We are getting ready for Disney by doing the laundry. I know this isn't that fun, okay? But we're going to bring some logic to this. So the reason why I'm including this in on day 5 is because what I love to do leading up to our Disney World trip is commit to something reasonable. To me, committing to 1 load of laundry a day is reasonable for our lifestyle, reasonable for our family. Some of you guys, you could probably knock out a ton. Some of you guys might not be able to commit to the 1 load a day, and that's okay. But the problem is whenever I get back from Disney, I don't want to do a bunch of laundry. I want to make sure that the towels are good. We are coming home to a bunch of clean towels. I want to make sure that whenever I am unloading all of my laundry from the trip, that I'm not already behind by a week. So that is the reasoning behind that. The other part is that I don't like to touch the laundry more than once. So to me, whenever I'm washing it, drying it, folding it, putting away, something like pajamas, I can just put the pajamas aside and say, oh, these are going to be packed up later. Or specific underwears that we might need. Oh, I'm going to need this with this outfit. I'm going to put them away. That way, I'm not having to take them, find places in Annie's overfilled drawers in her room of all the pajamas. I'm not having to fight that battle. I'm just ignoring the battle, and I'm going to just put them in a packing cube in the other room. So that is why I actually love doing the laundry every single day. Again, at least 1 load leading up to our trip, because it just does simplify things. Also, the other part is that we have to also live over here. I know it's weird. Some people are like, wow, like my house needs to be cleaned and like it needs to be perfect all the time. That's not me. We actually live in our home, and it's not always perfect, and it's not always, I mean, as you can see, the laundry is still here. We live here. That's what I tell Tyler all the time. He's like, our house is always a disaster. Our house is always a mess. And I'm like, excuse us for living here, sir. But another trickety trick that I like to do, these towels have been sitting in here overnight. That might go against all the rules. Okay. But this is what works for me. This is the trick that works for me. Is I don't like waiting around for the dryer, putting it in the washer, then waiting for that to wash, then putting it in the dryer. That takes hours, and simply hours that I just don't have. So what I like to do is I'll put the load of laundry in the washer. When that's done, I will put it in the dryer. But right now I'm emptying the dryer from yesterday's wash. So I'm not just sitting around waiting hours upon hours for my 1 load of laundry. That really just helps me where I, again, can maximize my time. We're time poor as busy moms, and I just don't have the time. Honestly, I just don't even get to sit around for that long. I'm not home very much, and this is just it. So again, after I'm done emptying this out, then we get to go into the kitchen, and I'm going to try to help out the fam, help out and contribute to our family. So Tyler doesn't have to do more chores when he wakes up. So Tyler's on night shift and all that. So we're still packing, we're still organizing, we're still maintaining our homes, but it just looks a little different leading up into the departure of our Disney World trip. We are now 4 days away from Disney World. Today, we kind of took a little family time, went to the golf course, and now I'm going to clean off my golf clubs. The reason why I'm actually including this in on our pack and prep is because I wanted to let you guys know, if you did not know already, that we are actually going to be playing golf at Disney World. So the whole sentiment of this upcoming trip is first of all, I'm really excited about it because Tyler, my husband, doesn't get to come with us often, like I've already talked to you guys about. But I have made it a mission to make sure that he feels just as included for this vacation as Annie and I would. So we're doing special things for him that he loves. And so if you have a husband that is not super excited about the parks, things such as going golfing at Disney World, that's an option. My husband loves to fish. We're also going to be going on a fishing excursion, which also Disney offers, and things that are just going to keep him really happy. So it's all going to be a group effort. I get to do things that I love. Annie gets to do things that she loves, and Tyler is going to be able to do things that he loves. So those things would also be categorized as enchanted extras. I believe that's the words that they like to use. And whenever you're going to reserve times for your Enchanting extras, it's going to be the same thing as Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where Bibbidi Bobbidi, you have to reserve it 60 days out from your arrival day at 12, at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be the difference between your lightning lanes and your dining reservations. It's going to be midnight for your magical extras. And we prefer to dock, especially when we're fishing, we prefer to dock from the yacht club, because if you get a really good time, chances are that you'll be able to fish inside of World Showcase and Epcot before they open up. So I think that's pretty daggone cool. Tyler is we went on a fishing excursion before as a family, but Tyler has been given the opportunity to actually fish. Ooh, this one's a dirty one. Has been given the actual opportunity to fish inside of World Showcase, and he loves bass. So if your husbands love stuff like that and you're trying to find something that's going to make them super happy and included also on your Disney trip, or maybe your kids like to fish, or maybe your kids like to golf too, you're going to have to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel for those things that are coming your way, because we are very, very excited about those. So I'm going to finish up cleaning these golf clubs. Then I'm going to go inside and we're going to talk a little bit about what to pack in our park bags. Let's go. So let's go ahead and go over some park bag essentials, or just park essentials that you're just going to need. First of all, let's just start with a ball cap. One of my favorite things to do, there's a couple reasons as to why, is to wear a ball cap into the parks. First of all, it's exhausting that week. Some days you just don't want to fix the hair. We've already talked about the dry shampoo. Well, here's another option that you're not going to have to necessarily do much with your hair. It's all going to be hidden underneath here. So I would put a ball cap in the essentials category. It's going to help you not have to be super, super stressful in the morning. Maybe get a couple minutes of extra sleep in the morning. We're going to hide everything underneath here. Okay. And these just came in the mail and I posted them up on Instagram already. So what got me thinking was the vlog, the cup sheet try on, the partnership that the whole video that came out last week that everybody went crazy over green. And even making the video was oh, I really do like green on me. I've worn it before. This is an old dress that I have on right now, but I liked it before, but the green, everybody went crazy over. So I was you know what? Maybe the Pink Lens Club needs some green. So I found these green sunglasses with the pink lens. It's perfect. So if you don't know, the Pink Lens Club, I just started wearing pink lens sunglasses because one, pink, that's my favorite color. Two, I don't like the dark brown sunglasses as much, and I love being able to look around and everything is a shade of pink and it's more vibrant colors, and I just like it. Then one day somebody was not as nice, and they made a comment on my pink lenses, and then all of you guys kind of took up for me. And then there it started the Pink Lens Club, where everybody was buying pink lenses and wearing them in the parks or wearing them in their normal life and tagging me. So now on my Instagram, I have a highlight of everybody who's tagged me wearing their pink lenses, and now it's a Pink Lens Club. So that's how that whole story happened. Now let's talk about like the actual stuff that is going to meet the needs of most families going to Disney World. So I brought in one of my Awala bottles that we are actively using. I can hear the water in it, but this will be empty. We'll carry this through TSA empty and then fill it up once we get past the security. One thing, it's a budget saving tip is bringing this, but also I do love the Awalas, and I've talked about it before. We are Awala lovers. Annie on her channel, she just got her new Disney Ariel Awala bottle. But the reason why we love them so much is that there's a huge opening and then there's like a smaller opening. You can either go back with it or you can either sip it. And whenever you're up in the air on the plane specifically, the cabin pressure, it'll get you. And especially if it's like those straws that go up, once that cabin pressure hits it, and then that cabin pressure is going to shoot that water up through that straw, and it's going to literally go all over you. So that's why I love the Awalas, is because it doesn't shoot the water up on us. So that is what we always travel with, is the Awalas. Now, talking about a little bit of more comfort, we got to talk about the hydration. Rule of thumb for us in the parks is you minimally, this is just setting the ground rules. You drink before getting on an attraction, and then you drink once you get back from an attraction. So we have a stroller, so we're not necessarily carrying our water bottles on us. But even if you are out of the stroller stage, I would still recommend that. Drink before an attraction, drink after an attraction. And I also don't think it would hurt to sometimes throw some electrolyte packets in there. I don't have some over here where I've sat down and vlogging, but I've got 2 different types of electrolytes that I like. 2 of them is the grape flavor that Annie and Tyler like. I like the Redmond brand, and they don't like that, but we'll just bring like the to-go packets with us and throw those in there. Plus, whenever we fly, we just get a little dehydrated sometimes. So that is something that we will be bringing. Everybody has their own Awala. Tyler's is just plain black. Whenever we are in the parks, I am a minimalist girly, okay? I don't carry much on my physical body because I just don't want to. Like, it's already a lot walking, the heat is starting to ramp up. I'm not trying to make this a lot harder than what it has to be. So I will typically just wear like a fanny pack. Not typically, like always wear a fanny pack. It's got my small wallet in there, and it has my batteries for my camera. And then I've got that's pretty much it, honestly. Like, I do not carry the fuel rod. I'll show you the fuel rod. Fuel rod or a battery charger, like my cell phone charger. Something in case my phone wants to die. That's pretty much all that I carry in my fanny pack. And then also, I would suggest, like, I've been getting a lot of questions about what if you're not in the stroller stage of your life. So first of all, you can always carry a backpack and or like still a fanny pack, like the Stony Clover jumbo bags that I have. Totally fine. Plus I have the Magic Band. And then I also put my phone on the stroller, on this octopus stand, and I will just kind of use it as a GPS, which is also a really great tip and hack that on the My Disney Experience app, if let's say you've got a reservation somewhere in the parks and you're like, how do I get there? You can use the GPS, and I attach this to my stroller and then kind of navigate through. But for the people that don't or not using a stroller and they've got backpacks, before child times, Tyler and I would just simply rent out a locker. So there are lockers at the very front of every single park, and it is a small fee, but that is a very practical option for you if you are not in the stroller game. Otherwise, if you're extremely minimal, you can use your fanny pack, you can use the Awala, you can carry it around rather easy, I would say. But The big backpacks, that just seems like a lot to me. I would prefer to go back to the resort and switch out my shoes, because that used to be like a big question whenever, before Annie, I would bring in an extra pair of shoes, and just an overpacker. But I promise you're going to be totally fine if you go the minimalist route. Some sunscreen. This is the sunscreen Annie's been using. This is our favorite with her right now. We can make a bunch of options. We can use the Solar Buddy. We can bring the entire packing cube. But if we're talking from a minimalist standpoint, maybe you should leave all the options in the resort room. And then Tyler and I use simply this. Or if you have the stroller, you can put all the types of sunscreen underneath. So just trying to help out all the families, right? So the perks of having a stroller, and I've said it a million times, the stroller is not for Annie. It just magically carries her because it has wheels, right? We primarily use the stroller because it is my assistant. It is helping me around the parks. It's going to be amazing if you bring in a stroller. Like, if you can get away with it, if you're questioning like, oh, is my child just too old for a stroller? Just go ahead and do it. The fact that you're questioning it, you're like, it's going to be okay. Just bring the stroller. It's going to be an assistant for you not to have to carry as much stuff. But we do have the stroller having its own bag. This is my favorite stroller caddy that I have owned. We like to bring in a little extra deodorant because we don't want to be stinkity stankity. I'm telling you, the heat is ramping up. It's getting hot. We have our fans. This guy is super cute. This is one of Annie's favorite. Then we also have her turbo fan, and this guy is stinkin'-tastic. It is like a literal blow dryer, but just blows some breeze on you. And I highly recommend constantly having some breeze. You can either do a neck fan, so you don't even really have to worry about, like, is it going to fit in a backpack or something like that. You're just wearing it anyway. And I love that the neck fans that we have, they don't get our hair in it. So that's super, super nice. Now you'll catch me on some trips also bringing in one of our collapsible lunch bags, because you can put ice in here. Make sure that your ice is in a bag or something. Like, just don't put a bunch of loose ice in there, but you can cold up. Is that real? Can we say cold up? Whatever. We can cold up some fruit, like some grapes, some bananas, make them really cold. You got applesauce pouches in there, some cheese sticks, some deli meat, anything in here. Another budget-friendly tip, but also, like, sometimes it's just easier to get in the bottom of your stroller and get your kiddos or yourself a little snackety snack. We don't need hangry and overheated, okay? So the food is going to help the endurance of your family. It's not just about hydration. That is super, super important, but you're going to feel a lot better when you are eating. And it's coming from me, if we have been friends for a while on here, you know that I am the best. Like, I should receive like some award of some kind of how good I am at forgetting to eat. Like, I'll order something to eat and then I don't eat enough. And then I'm like, oh, Annie, you want the rest of my food? Okay, that's fine. Cause I'm a mom and I want to make sure that she's taken care of. And then I forgot that I should probably follow up with myself and put some calories in my body. I already know the whole event, okay? But both things, please make sure that you are eating well and you are hydrating well. Another essential, like I'm telling you, like an essential is however you feel like it's best for your family and fighting the rain. This is what you're going to have to figure out. We have the stroller, and I keep on keeping in mind, like, the people that have been messaging me and commenting lately about the non-stroller. That must be my sign that Annie is getting old. And I'm almost out of the stroller stage, which is very, very sad. But I will be holding on to the stroller as long as possible. We'll be 10 up in there and people will be looking at me. Annie's like, Mommy, we don't need this. I'm fine. But I'll be like, I need the stroller. Anyway, you need to be thinking about how you're actually going to walk around, stroll around, maybe put up in a locker, which I kind of don't like that idea either, because if it starts raining, which it loves to do, especially in Florida, especially in the summer, like it's like, oh, what a lovely day. It is so nice and shiny. And then all of a sudden it's a downpour. Like, I'm not joking. There could be no rain on the forecast. And then all of a sudden you're coming out of an attraction and everything is soaked. Okay. We don't want that. Like, especially if you have a stroller, there's nothing worse than you have went into an attraction and you did not put your stroller rain cover on there, and then your kiddo is coming out dry, but having to sit in a seat that is soaking wet. Okay. Can you see the math here? Like, it's not going to math out very, very well for your family, because we're trying to keep the peace, right? And then their hind ends are wet, and then they're whining, and they're hot, and they're sleepy, and now we've got 3 emotions against us in all of our emotions, right? So again, I have the stroller. If you don't have a stroller, you don't need the stroller cover, but we do love our ponchos. Okay. They're reusable. These are just easy, classic ponchos that we reuse and reuse and reuse. Now, worst comes to worst, there are ponchos available at like all the Disney resorts, all the Disney parks. You can go in there. I think they run like, there's an adult size and a kid size. I think they run something to the effect of like something silly, like 25 doll hairs, right? You can just simply go to my Amazon storefront. I think you can get a whole pack for like $5 or $10 that have like 5 in them. Okay. You see the difference of preparedness versus not preparedness. Things get a little bit more expensive. So if you are trying to be frugal and not spend $25 a pop of each person that you have, then maybe try to figure out how you're going to be able to maybe bring around these ponchos. Of course, I've got them stuffed in here. They can be folded down in a more strategic way where it's going to fit more nicely in a backpack. Like, they can come into a little pouch. I just got Annie a brand new little poncho that's blue because it's her favorite color. Of course, is what she says. And it's got little kitty cats on it. So it's like literally this big. If I fold up, the ponchos are going to fit much better. Gosh, if you've got a big pocket, they could even go in there. That's annoying. I'm not saying that that's something that I would recommend, but nonetheless, I would be thinking through all this. Like, whenever you are in this stage of preparing and packing, be thinking through, like, yeah, we're not just trying to get all of our things to Florida, but we're going to have to figure out how to be strategic in managing it while we're maneuvering through the parks. Again, if you have a stroller, put it in that caddy. No big deal. If you've got an umbrella, put it in the stroller. Put it in the bottom of the stroller. Otherwise, you're going to have to think strategically. Maybe a smaller umbrella, it can go in a backpack. A smaller umbrella can go in your fanny pack. All the things. But I do want to underline that we're not just packing and prepping to just get us there. We're packing and prepping to sustain us. So that's going to be your tip for the day. I'm going to go and have a little bit more family time with them because Tyler was off today and I like being around my family. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.